Hi, thanks for joining me. This is Angie at Chicken Scratch. This is the card we're making today, and this is sketch number 21 for the paper and ink sketches. You can print the PDF with the measurements and without the measurements. I did make a couple slight changes, so I'll make sure that the inspiration sheet has those changes. For example, the 1.5 by 5, I'm actually using 1.5 by 5 1/4. Okay, so let me show you the supplies you're going to need. I'm happy to be using some brand new product, available June 1st. So this is the powder pink cardstock, and it measures 8.5 by 5.5. We have another piece that measures 5 1/4 by 4. Our inside layer is Whisper White, 5 1/4 by 4. Then we've got the Fresh Florals Designer Series paper that measures 1.5 by 5 1/4. And then we've got Whisper White, no, Shimmery White. This is a 3-inch square for our circle here that's going to measure 2 3/8. And then Dazzling Diamonds, also a 3-inch square that's going to be for the 2 3/4 scallop circle, using the layer in squares or layer in circles framelits. And then we have a piece of scrap here for the thanks that we're going to use with the classic label punch. And I have an extra piece of Shimmery White just in case I mess up. Okay, so let me get out the Simply Scored scoring tool, and we will go ahead and score our card base. Okay, so I'm going to place it on the 8.5 inch side, which is the landscape side, and score it at 4 1/4. And then fold it to form the card base. Next, we're going to take the powder pink layer that measures 5 1/4 by 4. We're going to place it inside the Brick Wall embossing folder. Just like that. I'm going to sandwich it between 2 cutting pads and then place it in the Big Shot. There's 1, there's 2. Okay, so here's my Big Shot. I'm just going to roll that through. Okay, this layer is going to go on the inside of our card, so let's go ahead and add our adhesive. Now we're going to add the Designer Series paper to this one. And let's go ahead and stamp. Now you can cut out your circle first, or you can stamp it first. I actually like to stamp it first. So I'm going to take a Post-it note, and I'm going to cover up the words that says "This Little Piggy." I just decided that I'd rather say thanks instead of "This Little Piggy Says Thanks." Okay? So I'm going to ink that up and then remove the Post-it note. And then stamp. Okay? While we've got the black ink pad open, we'll go ahead and stamp the Says Thanks. The classic label punch will cut off that says, so we won't have to worry about that. Now before I color it, I'm going to go ahead and just cut it out, and then we'll color it after the fact. So I'm going to get the Big Shot. Okay, Big Shot. Magnetic platform, cutting pad. We're going to place our little piggy there, and we're cutting him out with the 2 3/8 circle punch, or circle framelit. I want to make sure I didn't move it. Nope. Well, did I? Maybe a little. And then we're going to take the scallop circle, which is 2 3/4, and cut out the Dazzling Diamonds. Okay, so we've got our pieces now. Let's go ahead and color him. We're going to be using Powder Pink and Lemon Lime Twist. Both of those are 2 of the new in colors. I've got my aqua painter here. Just going to open this up. You can tell I've already used both of these ink pads a lot. I participated in some swaps, and yeah, I used these colors. I'm just going to make sure that my water's flowing nicely. I use the shimmery white cardstock because it makes coloring so much easier. I'm not one of those people that's really brilliant with watercoloring, so I love the shimmery white for that. It's very forgiving. Okay, I think he looks pretty good. So we'll close that one up. It looks a little wet. We'll give it a minute to dry. So now I'm just going to color the grass a little bit. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Okay. Again, I'm going to let that dry. Move it aside for a second. I'm going to get the classic label punch. And I'm just going to cut out my greeting here. And now that I'm holding this, it's whoever gets the kit, which, speaking of the kit, here it is right here. Your piece is really long for you to cut out your greeting. As you can see, I did not give myself hardly any space to cut this, so I might have to start over. Let's see if I can, well, let's do this. There's more than one way to skin a cat, which is a terrible phrase, isn't it? But you know what I mean. Okay. So if you ever have that problem, Post-it notes. Just got to make sure I remove it now from the edge here. Okay, so let's get all of our pieces back over here so that we can assemble this thing. This little piggy is going to get attached to the Dazzling Diamonds just with some glue dots. And the reason I'm using glue dots is because you need a stronger adhesive with the glimmer paper. I love this stuff, but it definitely needs a stronger adhesive, especially at my house. So I'm just going to place him right there in the center. Put a couple dimensionals on the back. And I know I showed you the kit. Did I say head over to my website and leave a comment to enter to win? If I didn't, please do so. We'll draw one person to win. It does include the envelope. Okay. It's going to go just like that. Yeah, now that the new catalog is going live on June 1st, I will be able to get my hand on some cardstock and product again. So I'll be able to resume giving the kits. Okay. I am considering using this little piggy for my Bella's bundle, but I'm going to wait until I get all the product in my hands when the catalog goes live on June 1st. So I've not yet been able to place my order. So once I get the product in hand, I get to design my samples and figure out what it's going to include. I will announce it. Okay, so here's my original one, and here's the one we just made. Cute, aren't they? Have a great day. Thanks a lot.